Welcome to TMP Covert Ops, stories stolen between meetings. Officially, I was on my way to a hackathon in Bethesda. Unofficially, this was Operation Iron Lantern. One stolen day in Tampa before the business trip began, just enough time to chase the shadows hiding beneath the bright atrium of Tampa International Airport. Every day, 120,000 travelers glide through here, grabbing lattes and boarding passes, never realizing the runway lights burn over ground that once swallowed a fort whole. Tonight, we chase what stayed behind. Tampa International opened in 1971, all space-age trams and mid-century optimism. But 3 miles south stood Fort Brooke, built in 1824. Its hospital overflowed during yellow fever outbreaks. Seminole prisoners were chained beneath the live oaks. When the fort was demolished in 1880, locals swore the bricks carried a curse. Some ended up as fill beneath city projects, and rumor has it, under the airport's taxiways. Flyers whisper that on humid nights, if you know where to look, say, Gate F-85's window, you might catch phantom lights flicker where the parade ground once stood. Stories linger around the rental car return and upper parking decks. Travelers have reported the smell of wet wool, sudden chills in midsummer, and the unnerving sound of footsteps pacing where no flights are due. The most persistent rumor? Level 3, Section C. Electronics die there without warning, and more than one person has sworn they felt watched, as if someone still patrolled the tarmac long after the last plane rolled away. Two miles south, a parking structure sits atop the fort's original powder magazine. Officially, it offers riverwalk views. Unofficially, the site has its own log of oddities. Alarms tripping at the same pre-dawn hour, cameras freezing on streaks of light, and drivers claiming headlights blink in Morse code rhythms no one requested. Tampa legends even tell of phantom phone calls coming from deactivated payphones once housed there, years after the phones were removed. Under the flight path in Ybor City stands the Cuban Club, built in 1917. Its limestone walls are said to hold echoes. Staff over the years have told of a lady in white seen drifting upstairs whenever jets roar low overhead. Whether it's resonance in the stone or the fever that once haunted Fort Brooke carried north on salvaged bricks, the result is the same. A sudden chill, a flicker of presence, and once, a piano note struck in a building with no piano since the late 1990s. Back at TIA, another tale makes the rounds. Since the 1970s, ground crews have spoken of a figure waving orange wands, beckoning, guiding, only for radar to show nothing there. Witnesses say runway edge lights have gone dark in sequence like dominoes falling, only to blaze back to life moments later. Official reports note no outages. The logs call it equipment tests, but those who've seen it call it something else. Hey, so this is just the first mission. Tampa's runways hide Fort Brooke, but next year we'll be at the Sunshine Skyway Bridge, a place where 35 lives were lost in a single moment and ghost stories still ride the wind. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss when that mission drops. So the paper trail for Tampa International is thin, but the folklore is thick. A sigh caught on tape decades ago said to whisper, "Still, duty." Lights blacking out in perfect rhythm with no outage recorded. Phantom footsteps and phone calls traced to places long dismantled. Separately, they're easy to dismiss. Together, they sketch an airport where history hums beneath the jet blast. Architect John Mystic Micah designed Tampa's 1971 terminal as a protective circle. Feng Shui enthusiasts claim it traps darker forces outside the atrium. And maybe that's why the shops and security lanes feel calm, while just beyond the glass, the air bristles with old unrest. So is Tampa International haunted? Maybe not in the terminal you walk through every day, but around its edges, parking decks, fuel farms, the ghost grid of Fort Brooke, stories refuse to fade. Next time your flight's delayed, consider that the runway concrete rests on fever wards, powder magazines, and prison oaks. Maybe your extra 30 minutes on the tarmac isn't weather. Maybe something's waiting beside your plane, looking for a ride home. Airports aren't just gateways. They're pressure valves where history leaks into the present. This was Operation Iron Lantern, Episode 1 of TMP Covert Ops. If you've heard footsteps on a jet bridge, or seen runway lights strobe out of rhythm, tell us your story below. Safe travels, agents. Until the next mission.